Hello, and welcome back to the Single Society. My name is Jo, and this is the podcast where we talk about being single through the much more positive lens that it really deserves. Being single offers so much freedom and flexibility and creativity in our lives, and I think it's really important that we celebrate that. Now, we have got 2026 on the horizon. I cannot believe that I'm saying that, but New Year's is not very far away. And I think that it's a time for all of us where we're reflecting, we're looking back, we're looking forward. Perhaps you're somebody who likes to set goals or resolutions. Although, if you are, I hope you're doing it from a loving, compassionate place. Please do not put any pressure onto yourself. But it's definitely a period where we're both looking backwards and looking forward to the brand new year ahead as well. And if you are single, that might be something that you're reflecting on. Do you love being single? Are you wanting to do solo travel more? Is it something that you may at some stage want to change? Are you open to finding a partner right now? Now, some of you may know that as well as hosting this podcast, I also run regular singles nights in Manchester, in Leeds, in York, and in Durham. So if you are interested in coming along to one of those events, I will leave the links in the description of this podcast as well. Now, this whole podcast isn't just about the events I run. I talk about loads of different things, from solo date ideas to drawing boundaries with people. So if you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe or follow, stick around as part of this journey, and the more we can grow this community of people wanting to shift the conversation about being single, hopefully the happier and the more normal we can make that choice or that phase of our lives. Now, as I say, it's going to be really different for everybody. If you are loving being single right now, then more power to you. Perhaps celebrating the new year and looking ahead to 2026 is all about: what solo dates can I go on? Where can I travel? What are the meals that I want to cook for myself? How do I want to really celebrate this freedom that I get in my life? And then equally, it's a totally valid choice if you are thinking, do you know what? I think I could be ready to date. I think I might be ready for a relationship. And you might be reflecting on some of those things as well. But what I would say is that in this last little stretch of the year, if you are currently single, my personal advice, take it or leave it, would be really enjoy it. Enjoy being single. Enjoy seeing out 2025 on your own terms. I think that one of the best bits about being single is you get to look at these big, festivities and celebrations and think, how do I want to celebrate that? Do I want to celebrate that? Am I a New Year's person? Weirdly, I love Christmas. I am so into Christmas. If you follow me on socials as well, you probably got that. Instagram is underscore singles underscore society. You'll probably find it. But yeah, I run various different Instagram accounts, and if you follow me on there, you will know I'm big into Christmas. But do you know what? I am not actually a massive New Year's person. I don't particularly love going out. It's not to say there's anything wrong with it. It's just not really my thing. I quite like that we're in midwinter, and it kind of feels like I want to be indoors. I want to be cozy. I want to watch my favorite film and have my favorite mug of tea. So I will celebrate it, but in quite a quiet kind of way. And again, you can choose to do that when you're single. You don't have a partner, you don't have family who are kind of saying, oh, we've got to do this, we've got to get out. You do what you want. And conversely, if you are someone who loves going out, please don't feel that you can't just because you're not in a relationship. You might have friends you can do that with, family, colleagues, or, I know it can be daunting, go to something by yourself. Honestly, there are so many New Year's events happening. As I say, so I'm based in Manchester, and I run events here, and I run them in Leeds, York, and Durham. And certainly in all of those places, there are loads of things happening for New Year. If you just Google New Year's events in and then the name of where you are, you're going to find loads of stuff to do. So because you're single, that does not mean that you have to sit at home, unless, of course, like me, you kind of want to do that. If you want to get out, then please do. There's loads of things. So my 2 cents on this subject would be: if you are currently single, enjoy this last little bit of 2025. Make the most of it. You design the New Year's and the end to the year that you want, and celebrate the fact that you have complete control over that. You can eat whatever you want. You've got sole control of the remote control for the TV. You do you do your thing. You celebrate. And if you want to continue that into 2026, beautiful, more power to you. And if you are looking to make that change, perhaps you're thinking about starting to date again, then I do think that whilst we shouldn't put pressure on resolutions, it can be a nice time to reflect. Now, I love goal setting, but what I will say is please, again, in my opinion, in my opinion, please don't set a goal to meet somebody in 2026 because that is so out of your control. You cannot setting goals where you yourself cannot control the outcome can be really problematic. What you can do is you can be open and you can create the right conditions that if you met somebody, you were able to begin dating and perhaps ultimately commit to a relationship. Now, there's various different things within that. One is about figuring out what you might want from a relationship, and I've got whole separate podcast episodes just on this topic of reflecting on, what to think about before dating or before going to a singles night. So figuring out what are the things that I'm looking for in a partner. What are my core values? What are the things I'm hoping to get out of life? Who is going to be aligned with me? I don't mean I want a partner with brown hair and blue eyes. If that's really important to you, that's obviously your personal choice. But I think that the questions I mean are more who is a partner who is going to align with me? Who is going to be fulfilling? And then also, what do I bring to a relationship? What do I have to offer? And I really want to stress I am absolutely not saying that you need to be perfect before starting to date because that is an impossible standard to hit. But it is worth thinking, have I reflected on who I am as a person, my attachment style? If you don't know what I mean, Google attachment style, it's very interesting. Um, have I fully healed from my past relationship? Again, fully is perhaps too big a word, but have you unpicked some of the things that happened there? So take some time, what do I bring to a relationship? What do I have to offer? Who am I as a person? And then what am I looking for as well? And then start putting yourself in spaces. Again, I have a personal bias here, but I do think apps are only going to take you so far. They can be a brilliant tool. I'm not saying don't use apps. Obviously, that's a really personal choice, but I think sometimes they can start to feel a little bit like hard work. And probably not surprisingly, given I choose to run singles nights, I really, really believe in the power of being in a shared space and having that community and that moment of spark. I think people that we might reject out of hand online, if you feel chemistry with in person, that's the more important thing. So put yourself in spaces where there are single people. So I guess singles events is maybe the obvious, the easy one. But also, like, if you love dogs and you have a dog, you're a dog walker, chat to people when you're out on your dog walks. Maybe ask someone for coffee, even if then it turns out they're not single or they just become a friend. Just putting yourself out there, being in environments that naturally align with your values or the kind of person you are, that you're putting yourself out there essentially. Don't make the goal to be to meet someone. Make the goal to be ready, to be open to the possibility that if you did meet somebody, then you could enjoy that and you could nurture that relationship. I think that generally when we're setting goals and looking ahead to 2026, yes, it's good to have ambition. Yes, it's good to have a sense of direction, but always, always from a place of compassion and just being open to possibilities. Be kind and be gentle to yourself as well. And definitely celebrate the end of 2025 on your own terms. If you haven't already, I'd love it if you would subscribe or follow to this podcast. There's lots of other episodes for you to go back and listen to. And I wish you a very, very peaceful end to this year and a joyful start to the next. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.